Like,
right.
like and subscribe. All the professionals.
Here,
It will
or
be here
there,
and
wherever.
here. Yeah.
Yeah.
100
We're
and
gonna have like 20 minutes long like ads before each episode.
Yeah, yeah, and
Like,
introductions
remember,
to each of us, like, oh yeah, and my channel is over here. I do absolutely nothing, but I have a channel.
Yeah, it has one video, and that I stole from somebody else and posted it.
It's just circular references. You come to my page and I reference Ito's page.
it's like an endless loop of references.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's take a deep breath and get into character before we.
We're playing Star Wars, right?
Yeah, Star Wars. we are all Jar Jar Binks, like Jar Jar Binks
Alright.
builds.
Okay, I kill myself.
Okay.
I
good,
force
good move.
choke myself.
I
Jar Jar
force
doesn't
choke
have
myself.
Force powers. Come on.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
So, wow, we are actually doing it, right? Full house. Full house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Okay, so previously in Storm King's Thunder, after exploring the dripping caves and freeing the surviving residents of Nightstone from their goblin captures, you escorted the villagers to Waterdeep, where their leader, a dwarf named Morak Urgrey, has some ties. Before breaking the news of Aemon's death and Lady Valrosa's demise to Jolly, you decided to take a detour through the city, and you went each to your own business. Forgar was approached by a squad of Everwatch Knights who wished to learn more about your encounters with giants. It seems like the masked lords of Waterdeep hired them to investigate giant activity in the area. And they were obviously sad to hear about Aemon's demise, and they offered you some help in return for a detailed report. If I remember correctly, they fixed your armor or something like that, right?
Yeah.
After your encounter with some acid.
Stupid blob.
Stupid blob. Zunis and Eileen, you return to Eileen's mansion, and you learn that Magister Van Devries left a note concerning the investigation of the assassin and the magic he employed, the magic that caused Zunis to explode into a cloud of water and then reform. I think I'm not sure exactly, but he basically said that the investigation yielded that the City Watch has a traitor, and when the assassin tried to escape with that traitor's help, the City Watch managed to kill them both, and then they cast Speak with Dead in order to learn what they can from the corpses, and they indeed learned that the assassin has a safe house in Waterdeep, and Van Devries offered Eileen the opportunity to settle the score by storming that safe house. He previously kind of, how should I say it, mistreated you by just thinking you are, a barbarian and you don't worth his time. But after learning that there is a traitor and some things about the magic this assassin employed, he decided to give you the honor of settling the score. So that was Zunis and Eileen. Quarian, you went to visit your wife and son, and you learned that your son believes the monster in the window is his grandfather. And your wife kind of, she tried to say it's nothing, bad dreams, kids' imagination. But you took your boy to a stroll at the docks, and you're not so sure. Jenkins, you actually got paid for a successful mission, and you received yet another one, including the name of someone who can actually mend your damaged map that Eileen got, and Elithier tried to unwrap, but triggered a trap accidentally. The name was Zabas Tool, and he's a contact of your employer. And after all that was done, you convened at Jolly's Quill, and you found that the place is empty. It seems like Jolly had to leave, and on his desk you found a single note with the words "Winter is coming," jotted on a paper bearing the emblem of the Oak Father. This is the holy symbol of Sylvanus, and you know that Sylvanus has a temple in town, in the city. So if I remember correctly, this is where we stopped last time.
Well,
Yeah.
there was a package for me also
Right.
Package.
that I haven't opened yet. Yeah,
Package.
and I got a present.
Oh, right, Christmas. So before we decided what to do, I wanted to ask, could I have spent my time buying like a chain shirt and a shield because I'm cleric now?
Sure. Yeah.
It's like 2 levels in. All right,
Of course.
awesome.
I remember the church that the temple that you just told us about, where they got the paper from,
Yes.
the paper on which the note was written from. That's also the temple where the people from that were just escorted went to, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
No.
The information we got about Mr. White, have we had some time in between learning that information and now? Or is
So
it just like just now?
no, so basically Eileen and Zunis did learn it, let's say at around noon or afternoon, and now it's evening. So yes, you did have some time, but I'm not sure the information kind of passed between all the members of the group.
We kind of
Okay.
split up and just met at Jolin's now.
Yes, but you do know that Mr. White has a safe house in town, and you have its address. And what you know about it is that it's a warehouse owned and operated by House Elter Chul, which is a noble family responsible for the largest magical academy in Waterdeep.
Oh dear.
That's gonna be a fun
Um,
castle to storm.
So my feature is ear to the ground. It basically means I have a contact who can provide me with information here in the local area, so mostly the major cities.
Mhm.
I wouldn't mind trying to make contact with them to see if I can learn anything else about this Mr. White.
Okay.
And Jolly, there was a note on Jolly's door. That's the one with the temple.
It was on.
It's
his
done
desk.
on temple letterhead.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay.
We're inside Jolin's. It was on his desk.
Okay.
Oh.
Is there a mess over there, or is it like just tied up and he just left?
So it seems like he tied things up, cleared his desk, and left. You don't see any evidence of, extremely hurry or that he was distressed or something like that.
Is
Okay.
there anything else in here, like a ledger or something like that, that we can compare the handwriting to? Make sure it is, in fact, is.
So you don't think this is Jolly's handwriting? Actually, the letters are very crude. It's almost as if a dwarf written them.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
Could we find some information about Vasco of Arcona and/or Star Dancer?
Sure. Where do you want to look for this
I don't know.
information?
Like in Jolly's, just in the immediate vicinity, would we have anything that clearly maybe would tell us something about that? Would he deal with pirates at all? Or
I
people
could-
who...
I could speak to my informant about that as well. I might be able to get some information.
So yeah, we have that, the Vasco of Arcona, and then that cryptic note on Jolly's desk, and then Since the giants are looking for ancient relics, if we can find like the location of an ancient relic, we might like get there before the giants do. Intercept them, like figure out where they're gonna go.
Have you gone crazy? Like, go somewhere where giants are going? You want to die?
Well, maybe we can just tell a bunch of people that they're gonna be there, and then they can get their high-level characters and go over there themselves.
Yeah, those knights that you guys were talking about earlier, though.
So you all want to stay at Jolly's Quill while Elithir is going to town to speak with his contact?
No. I think I'm going to go check up on my son again. I won't get into the house. I'll just take a look at the outside just to make sure that there isn't an actual monster in the window.
Okay.
Could maybe while those two things are happening, I guess I could spend time with maybe somebody else, going to the library, I guess, and looking for this information on the relics, just to not
I'll
waste
go with
time.
you to the library.
Yep, me too.
Okay.
I'll stay here, I say, and then I want to look at my package, and I also, if possible, want to borrow the map from Eileen without her noticing.
Okay. So,
The damaged
Eileen,
map.
you know that very near Jolly's Quill there is another shop called Serpentil Books and Folios, where you can possibly dig in and search for some information. It's like a known bookshop at Waterdeep. It isn't a library per se, but its owner is probably very aware of such lore and any other information you might want to ask.
Cool. That's where I would want to go.
Okay. So okay. Let's start with you, Elithir. So you go out of Jolly's Quill and basically crossing the street and crossing Books Street, which is where Jolly's Quill is located. You cross the Way of the Dragon and approach the High Road, where a very popular tavern is located. It's called Befil's Bottles. And
Beffel's Bottles.
yes. And on the bar, next to, rough and tumble clientele, he's your friend, Kale Lemeth.
Kale Lemeth?
Yes. And as you open the tavern's door, you see a lot of people are talking, singing, drinking. What's interesting is that most of them are armed, and unless the people who are sitting there are really drunk, most of them are kind of huddled in groups and talking in whispers, and obviously people are very excited. You're not sure about what.
Okay, so I will go and sit down the bar from Kale and, make eye contact with him and kind of motion out to the side of the building. So outside, and then I'll walk out.
Okay, so he kind of puts some money on the table, and then he kind of stretches and says, "Well, I must take a pee." And then he leaves the building and wait outside. When you join him, it's an empty alley. It's dark. There's a puddle in the middle of it. And, a crate, broken crate, and a pigeon on it.
Okay, I want to make a perception check, which I rolled a 22 to make sure that we're not being watched.
Okay.
And I'll approach him and, shake his hand. It's been a while since I've seen him. And get straight to business. Ask him if he has heard anything about somebody called Mr. White here in Waterdeep who may be involved in organized crime or assassinations or...
He looks at you and says, well, you didn't get any contract on him directly, did you now? That's
No, I have no contract on.
very unlikely.
What do you mean?
He's a ghost. Doesn't exist. All we know is that people are dying because of him, and that's it. No sign of this man or thing or whatever. Only people dead in the gutters, in the sewers, in the docks, with notes signed by him.
So do we think that he's a myth, that maybe these are copycats, or that, you know, he's a legend being built up, or an actual person?
I don't know. What I do know is that if you do get a note from him, you might want to reconsider and think about how you're going to answer it. From what I heard, if you got a note from him, it's either his way or the dragon's way.
Okay. Very well. Do we know anybody who's gotten a note from him and survived?
He kind of thinks, and then he says, yes, I think where they found someone in the sewers, if I'm not mistaken.
That survived?
No one who was found with a note from Mr. White was found alive.
Okay. Then I guess before I let him go, I'll ask him if he knows of Captain Vasco Varcona of the Star Dancer.
The Star Dancer, you say? Heard a lot of ship names recently. A lot of ships are missing, you know. Traveling from Waterdeep to Neverwinter to Baldur's Gate. Never been so dangerous. There are stories about huge, giant ships in the water, made of ice.
Okay. And that's reliable information?
Yes. If you want, I can try to dig in some more information about this Vasco Varcona.
I would appreciate it.
Okay.
You can leave a note for me at what is his name? What is Jolly's store's name again?
Jolly's Quill.
Jolly's Quill. And if I'm not there, and because we trade in information quite a bit, I'll just give him the information about the goblins and the giant attack.
Okay.
Everything that I know, I'll pass on to him.
Okay, great. Sure. Thanks. He will thank you and smile and head back to the tavern.
Okay, I'll go back to the Jolly's Quills.
Great. Quarian, you know, it's in the middle of the evening, so you steer back and head back towards the docks where your wife's house is. And you know, most of Waterdeep houses are like 2 or 3 stories building. The first story is always a shop, and in your wife's case, it is a bakery that is that operates and on the first level, and then your the owner's flat is kind of the floor above, and then your wife, she hires this modest apartment. And so when you get there to your street, it's kind of late at night. You expect your son to be asleep, so you look at the building. There's a huge tree next to it, and the window that leads to your son's bedchamber. The window suddenly opens, and you can see your little boy kind of looks left and right to make sure no one is looking, and then he climbs out of the window, throws a rope that latches on one of the tree branches, and then he kind of swings to the tree. He produces from a small sack a jar of cookies. He places them on the tree, writes something on a note and put it in the jar, looks left and right again, and then swings back to his house, and then he close the window. And just before he closes the window, you can hear your wife shouting, "Are you in bed? Or are you making noise again?"
Okay. I'm going to hang out there for a while.
Okay.
Little
In a
rogue.
place where I can hide, in a well-hidden place.
So you kind of find a place to stay out of sight. I need you to roll your stealth check or a high check.
Okay. 14 plus... Just a minute. Okay, that's 19.
A 19. Okay. So a 19 is high, but not high enough to avoid the sharp eyes of Rosalind. She's the basically the building owner. She owns the bakery, and you pay her rent. And she kind of taps your shoulder as you kind of try to hide. She looks at you. "What are you doing here, young man? Spying on your own wife?"
Actually, on my son. He told me a very nice story today, and I want to make sure that he's okay.
"A nice story, you say?
Yes.
I don't like you.
Yep. How come?
You're a wizard. You always bring trouble with your spices and dead spiders that you have to swallow in order to see through walls. Huh? You wish you could see through walls, right? Do you see what I'm wearing?"
I say, I take like a step back and I say, "Rosa, you do indeed look very nice tonight, and yet, I'm not a wizard. I am a bard." And I start to explain to her at length about the differences between a bard and a wizard, and I explained to her about the music that I play, and about how my spells are an art of music, and I go on and on and on, trying from time to time trying to sneak a peek at it's a tree.
So she kind of looks at you through, looking down at you, and her spectacles kind of fall to the edge of her nose, and you babble on and on and on and on, and then she says, "Do you know how old I am?"
You must be like about 20, right?
"I am ageless. I have seen people like you come and go. You won't deter me with your talking and babbling and smooth tongue of yours. Yes? What about rent? Your wife hasn't paid for a long time. She said you will come back from a great adventure with sacks of gold on your back. I don't see any sacks of gold on that back."
I reach into my pocket and take out a gold piece and give it to her.
She kind of
How's this for...
snatches it. "And what is this tale of yours about your son? Yes? What is he doing?"
He's having dreams of a long lost hero. I'm just trying to make sure that he's not doing anything rash.
So you try to make sure he doesn't go follow the footsteps of his father, huh?
In a way.
Smart. The first smart thing I heard you say all day.
Why, thank you, Rosa.
I will keep an eye on you. And then she kind of turns around and leaves.
There you go.
So while she was kind of talking to you, you were trying to pick. I needed to make a perception check with a disadvantage because of this annoying lady.
Okay. All right. Okay, that was terrible. I got a 6.
Okay. So your son's candle was snuffed out. The window is shut, and the cookie jar is gone.
Damn. Can I climb over to the tree? Can I
Yes.
climb up the tree to where?
Sure.
I'm going to climb up and see if I can find anything there.
Okay, make a climb check. At Athletics.
Athletics. I got a 7.
So you kind of tear your pants halfway up when you hear this. And you see Rosalind, she stands down there. And she simply walks away.
Got it.
Okay. So do you spend some more time trying to climb up the tree?
Yeah.
Okay. So you do eventually, and you find nothing of importance.
Okay.
Yeah. But definitely
You know what?
the cookie jar is gone.
All right. I'm going to leave a note over there. I'm going to take the. Quarian has a letter that he's written to his father, and it's a very angry letter that he never gave it to him.
Okay.
He's going to dart it to the tree where he left, where the cookie jar used to be before.
Okay.
Okay. And I try to make sure that my son won't find it. I mean, I'm going to put it in a place where a grown-up would probably see it, but my son probably won't.
Okay, no problem.
And after that, I'll stay there for another half hour and go back to Jolly's place.
Great. Okay. Anyone else? Okay, so...
I think we were going to the library.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
right.
I would like to try and steal the map from them and get it repaired.
So I need you to make a sleight of hand check as Eileen leaves for Serpentine
Ooh,
books and folios.
Only a 10. But she's an old woman, she won't notice.
Yeah, but I'll zap you if I see you.
So I think it should be opposed by your perception check, if I'm not mistaken.
All right.
Sounds about right.
Or against the passive
14.
perception.
Passive is 13.
What?
Yeah.
What
he
was
noticed
that,
me.
Brian?
I said against passive perception usually, unless you're actively.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so 13.
Either way, he noticed. Or
Yeah,
she
either way.
noticed.
So you noticed Jackin kind of slip a hand around your waist.
I did the
Hello.
equivalent of a slap in the wrist, but it's with like a static like shock. As you like get close to me.
Ow! Hey, I just wanted to like have a look at the map, you know? It's not safe
for?
like going at the library. Like why would you need it at the library? I could
It's safe
stay
with me.
here. I could stay here and study the map.
Study the map.
Yeah.
What are you gonna study? There's like nothing left of it, almost.
I might know there's some Jolly had some special ink that might be able to repair it.
Mm. Can I wanna roll to see if he's lying or not to me.
Okay.
What do I do? Insight.
Insight.
I'm rolling deception.
Well, all right.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
Easy
Even though
for
you're
crit.
telling the truth.
That's not a
Nope.
crit. That's a 22.
Yes.
Yeah.
You should. Okay.
there goes the
Are you
map.
guys having network issues too? Is it just me?
No.
Just you.
It's
Just
fine
Just
for me.
you.
All right. Well then I give you the map. I look at you straight in your lying eyes and I say, all right, don't lose it or break it or burn it
Why would
More.
I burn it?
anymore than you already have. Here, take it.
If you had just let me examine the compass Steady instead of Alither, it
Amen.
wouldn't have happened.
Wasn't it?
No,
No, it was
no,
Aelithir.
no, that's
Shit.
Alither. Yes.
Yeah,
So
Emerald.
we can't.
I was
bring
hoping
it
the guy
back.
responsible for it was dead.
But the guy investigating me from doing something wrong is dead. So
Yeah.
things are looking up.
Yeah, Ellen
Ouch.
just gives you the map.
Yeah. So better pay that in mind if you try to investigate me again. Hey.
Oh, don't worry. Aelithir has no interest in you.
Yeah. Oh, now I feel sad. I thought that was important. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I take the map and say, oh yeah, I'll just be here examining it, figuring out how this works. I'm sure I can figure something out. I'm smart. I say. I'm smart.
Right.
I am.
You are.
Yes.
Unless you would be dead by now if you weren't a street urchin.
Yeah.
Street urchin.
Or whatever the heck you were before, right? You were like living on the
Yes.
streets?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's really kind of you to invite me into your home. I'm living at your place now.
Yeah, it's a giant mansion.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I didn't even notice.
I feel like... Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we established that last time. Stunis was okay with it.
Yeah, it's.
Soon as
I
gonna
mean,
keep...
for me, it's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have the map.
Yes.
You are headed to
To the Blushing Nymph
the
Inn.
Blushing Nymph. Okay,
Yes.
great.
To hopefully meet with Sebastul.
Okay, so Eileen, you go out and visit Serpentine Books and Folios, and when you open the door, you can see candles, not candles, but oil lamps kind of illuminate what appears to be a tiny room, packed with scrolls and books, and there's tons and tons of them in various shapes and sizes. Some of them are made of paper, some of them are pieces of lead with runes carved into them. Some of them are made of wood and with bindings of leaves. So any shape and kind. And in the middle of all this mess, you can see a large dragonborn with scales that seems almost purple, indicating that he is a very old one, and he has this goatee, greenish of sort, and he looks at you and says, "You're late." Shaking his head.
Excuse me?
I said you're late.
Very well. To what?
And he looks at you and says, "Humans will never understand them. It is late. The time. Very late."
Well, this is, I need questions answered as soon as possible.
It's always...
These are dire straits.
Yes, that's what they all say. What do you want to know?
Nightstone, the Shard of Nightstone specifically. It is an ancient relic, is it not?
And he looks at his tiny library, kind of sorts out all kinds of books and scrolls, and then he puts out the scroll, opens it, and you can see like the floor plan of the small town of Nightstone, and he points at the black obsidian stone that was there when you visited town. There was only a hole in the ground, and he says, "Well, the town was built around it."
So what I'm looking for here is other ancient relics that might be related to this one, perhaps similar characteristics, from the similar age, of similar power.
And he looks
their
at
locations.
you. He looks at you. Kind of strange, and he says, "You don't look like Zentarim to me."
What does that mean? Out of character.
It's
They're a network of evil. Organized crime network.
Oh.
Just a merchant that wants to get paid. Like,
exactly.
they're not evil.
These are the two sides of the equation, right?
Right.
They're neutral.
And he says,
They're assassins.
All right.
and he says,
Eh.
there was a tiefling in my store 3 days ago, claimed to be an archaeologist, but I smell Zentarim as soon as I lay my eyes on them. He said he's digging up some giant relics. a day to the north. A day's ride to the north. Kind of peculiar that you come to me with questions about relics similar to the Nightstone.
Do you know what happened to the Nightstone?
What happened to it?
You should update your map because it's not there anymore.
He says, oh.
I'm digging up the people who are trying to dig up these relics.
And he says, he opens another book and he says, kind of flips through it and says, have you ever heard of the empire, a giant empire known as Astoria?
I don't know, have I? Can I roll for it?
Sure, if you want, you can roll your history check.
So I can impress them, alright, let's see. 15.
So yes, you think, you know, it's ancient lore, ancient legends, but you do remember that at some point, you know, all of the realms were ruled either by giants or dragons or devils, right? So each to his own empire, and indeed the giant empire was known as Astoria, but it dissolved kind of, you know, eons ago.
I just say giants.
He says the Nightstone was considered to be a relic of the ancient empire of Astoria, but many of us tried to unlock its secrets. No one could. The aura of magic that emanated from it was very faint, probably got fainter with the years. No one thought it actually worth something, and when the lady and Lord Nandar decided to build their town around it, they supposed it will bring them good luck or something like that. It seems to me by what you're saying that their luck has ran out.
It definitely has.
But maybe that tiefling will know more about it, hmm?
Yeah.
He says his name is Tarkos.
We're gonna find this Tarkos.
He said that he needs a map of the regions a day's ride north from Waterdeep. I gave him just that.
A day's ride. Well, okay. And about these relics from the empire of the ancient giants, do you have any information on those?
There are dozens of recorded evidence of magical items and runes and rings and stones and castles. What do you want to know exactly?
I want to know the ones that were known to be possessed by or created by the ancient giant empire.
That's what might require some research, and my time is not free. I could conduct such research. It will cost you 50 gold a day. It will probably take me a week to go over all my notes and give you a detailed list of the relics possessed by giants known to man in the last 100 years or so.
Out of character, does my faction have like the ducats to pay this guy for a week? Can I just be like, yeah, it's on the company's tab? Like,
what's the company's tab? The Lord's Alliance?
A bunch of very rich merchants, yeah, the wealthy people.
The Lord's Alliance.
Yeah, the Lords.
You think it's a pretty hefty sum, so you might want to maybe
Soon
pay...
should handle this.
Maybe you need to pay at least half of it or the advance, and then you need to convince your people that it's a worthwhile endeavor.
All right. I wonder if I should pay this guy to shut up about me asking questions about this. But I have like 15 gold pieces. I think that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I think I would say, all right. Thanks for the information. Don't start on that research yet. I'll come up with the money for it.
Okay, and he looks at you, and as you leave, he says, "The name is Armak, by the way."
Well, Armac, here's for not telling anybody about this conversation. And I put, how do I bribe people? 15 gold is too much.
That's a lot.
Yeah. 3, 2. I put 3.
So he takes the money and says, tell people about what?
Very good.
Kind of blunt way to bribe somebody. But okay.
Sometimes it's easier just to be blunt.
She's old. She's like all that nonsense and bluffing and nuances. No, just tell it straight.
Okay. Jenkins. So
Yeah.
the blushing nymph is exactly that. I mean, it's in the docks, obviously, but the shape of the building, it's like something taken from the desert lands of the regions to the east, where rumors of jinns and demons controlling the land. So as soon as you get into this, what is the shape of this? Like the Taj Mahal, not the Taj Mahal. Like an Arab, what?
Like a mosque?
Not a mosque. I'll find the name, but it's silk curtains that part before you, and then there are no tables and no chairs, only cushions and rugs all over the place, and
like a sultan's tent.
oh, exactly, without the tent.
Very Bedouin.
Yeah. When you enter, two very, very muscular men robed in oils and they're only wearing pants. They look at you and say, "You are under the open eye of El Said. Don't be foolish." And
Never foolish. I
when-
say, looking around confused, like, where's this open eye?
So you can see a lot of people kind of lying on the floor, smoking through large pipes. At the end of them, there is like a bottle of water and herbs burning from above it, and they kind of sip through the water, spices, and you can see that there is a haze all over the place, and bare-chested females of all kinds, dwarves, halflings, half-elves, elves, and some other races you're not sure you've met before, kind of walk around the guests and hand over fruits and roasted meat, ales, wines, and you know, after 30 seconds of just watching all of this, two of them approach you and say, "We are here to please," and they kind of outstretch their hands, and there's a cushion made of red velvet. It's empty, there's nothing on top of it, and they kind of hand it to you.
That's nice. You look lovely today. Like making huge eyes, like 16-year-old kid in here. This is great.
And
Yeah.
they say, "We could be nice if you will only show us your true colors." And the kind of motion with the cushion.
Yes. I can do that. Is Sebastol here? I kind of need to see him.
And they kind of roll their eyes, take up the cushions, and one of them says, "But of course, come with me."
Oh yeah. But later I would mind showing you my colors. If you would show me if something.
Make a perception check.
Okay, I'm not actually really good at this. 5.
Okay, so you kind of cross-eyed, blind from all the flesh around you.
It makes sense that I'm staring at all the wrong things.
So one of them, she has blue eyes, black hair, and she wears all these jewels in places that jewels are not supposed to be. She takes you by the hand and says, "Come after me."
Oh, I'll follow you anywhere.
So she doesn't take long to navigate a maze of silk curtains and clouds of aromatic smoke, and then you come into this chamber, basically covered with men and a woman in the middle of this fierce debate, and they don't stand; they all lie down in various corners of the room, and you feel that, at least according to the slur, they are intoxicated, and probably the weed that they are smoking is causing them to be a little bit more assertive and talkative than normal. Among them, you find this man who is obviously a foreigner. There's a huge hat with a massive feather lying on a cushion, like like the hat deserves a cushion of its own. And next to him, there's a man sprawled, earrings, scarred faced, and instead of one eye, he has, you think, is a diamond or something of the sort. It's not a glass eye per se. You think it's maybe a diamond or some sort of a faceted stone embedded instead of his regular eyeball. And the girl takes you straight to him. So he kind of smokes and looks at you. Yes. What do you want?
Yes, hello, Mr. Thule. I say and do like an awkward bow. Stev sent me. He said you could help. I have a map that's damaged.
You have a map that's damaged, and then everybody in the room kind of start to laugh, and he looks at you kind of, smoking.
Yes. This is funny. I have it with me right here, and I pull it out and show it to him.
He takes it, looks at you as he opens it and folds it, and then he looks at it and then looks at you again. Close it down. What do you want with Lord Neverember? You don't seem the type who wants to find himself throat slitted in the gutters of Neverwinter.
No, I've never really thought about Lord Neverember.
Well, if I'll mend this map for you, it will lead you straight down his throat. You're sure you want to do that?
Well, I don't have any love for these high and mighty lords, but I didn't know it was his.
He says, this map shows some uncharted territories deep inside the Neverwinter forest, where the river splits and turns. People who are unfamiliar with that land will find themselves lost or attacked by the elves who lives in the forest, or by worst things. If you want, I can mend the map for you, but then you will need a ship, you will need a crew, you'll need a captain. I can be that for you if you wish. And then he looks at you with his strange eye.
Remind me, what was it Steph said about this guy?
He's a contact. They don't completely trust him, and you know that he's an ex-pirate.
Yeah, I know. Remember he was ex-pirate, yes. Yeah, but I couldn't remember if it said like don't trust him or something.
No, he's not like a member of your organization.
No.
So
Mm.
he will hand the map to you and say, 50 gold. I will mend the map. 50 more gold. I will make sure a ship waits for you in Neverwinter. 50 more gold. I will be its captain.
150 gold, you say? That seems like a really high price. I do have some allies that would need to go with me. And I'm not sure how they would feel about an honorable person like you leading us. They're one of them is one of those, you know, high and mighty, fancy pantsy lord types.
He
Well,
smiles and shows you.
he's maybe a bit more down to earth, but still, he's a noble of sort.
So he smiles and shows you his gold tooth display, but he doesn't say anything.
So, but if you could restore the map, I can pay you. And I pull out a ruby worth 50 gold.
So he takes the ruby and kind of gets up and takes the map and say, come tomorrow, same place. The map will be mended.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow morning.
Okay. So it would only take you like, it should be kind of late now. It only take you what, 6 hours, 8 hours?
I have some business I need to attend to before I make myself available to work on your map. And he smiles and kind of waves at the girls around him.
Yeah. Would you mind if I waited here with you?
He kind of looks at you. Roll your persuasion, or persuasion will be good.
Yeah.
I'm not
Come
sure
on,
you.
high roll.
I'm not sure you're ready for this.
Oh, I'm ready. I'm so ready. I'm really ready. Come on, please let me stay. A 4. Come on, a 4. It's 4's enough.
So the two muscular men from the exit, they kind of pop their heads in and say, Mr. Thule, is this lad giving you any trouble? And then he kind of waves them, go, come tomorrow.
Oh, but I kind of wanted to say, well, okay, I'll come tomorrow. Bye, and I wave at one of the ladies, like, as I'm let out.
So as you go out, you can hear the entire room kind of exploding, laughter, and but then they resume their businesses and talking and drinking and eating. But the map will be mended by the morning.
Yes, and I assume I was blushing the entire time I was in there also.
Yep.
Yes. Well, I guess I will head back to Eline's mansion and sleep there for the night.
Okay.
And also, I did have the package that you still haven't told me what was in.
Correct.
That I got. So I'll look at that when I get back to Eline's mansion.
Okay, that was a package by Stev, right?
Yes.
Okay.
He said he had left a gift at Jolly's.
Okay. Great. Okay, so I will tell you. But anyone wants to do anything else in the meantime?
Nope, just meet up with the group.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got some stuff to tell Sunis. Like, we need, how much was it? Like 450 or something?
Something 50 a day, and he needs a week, I
3.
think you said.
Yeah, 350 for that, and another 150 for that pirate.
We need 350 gold, Sunis.
I
Can you do the paperwork?
And I
Well,
actually do have another 100.
Or well, I can for what?
The answer is yes.
The answer is yes.
I can
For-
try.
Can we check with Trevor?
Trevor,
Who's Trevor? My.
your cook or something, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Whatever.
It's
The
Yeah.
butler?
Brandon.
The
Trevor's
butler.
crazy.
Oh, Brandon.
Brandon's crazy.
Brandon.
I think he left,
Hopefully- I
right?
hope Brandon's Mr.
He
White.
left.
I really hope
quit.
Brandon's Mr. White. But yeah, so I say that soon as. So that's all I do. Tell him that.
Yeah. So what do you guys
It
think?
was Elmore, not Brandon. I think you guys.
Oh
met
yeah,
up.
I
Yeah,
just
but
called
he
him.
I
kept
know,
calling him
yeah,
Brandon.
What should we pursue next, guys? Should we
I
check
interrupt
out
you?
the hideout? Should we check out the hideout? Or
Well, yeah, it's here, but I mean, if it's owned by this Elter Chull, is that right?
Yes.
This guy runs a school of magic. It's not going to be easy for us to even get near it. That would be my guess.
Yeah.
Unless it's just an investment property that he rents out and he doesn't give a crap about it.
Just saying we need to do more research on this too.
I think we should go scout it out at least.
yeah, I don't think we should like run in, guns
Break down the
blazing.
door.
Never. Never. No. Let's scout it out and see. I'm sure that there's always a way in, even when they're magically protected. Just might
Let's
take
kill some mages.
Exactly. Break
some
down the door.
encouragement.
Okay, so you
So
want.
I say we wait for night. Yeah.
Okay, basically this is night, but you want to wait to midnight or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
that's okay. Great. So you hang out at Jolly's Quill or at Lynn's mansion until midnight comes.
At the mansion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Let's
Yeah,
make
yeah,
sure that the
yeah,
Jolly's
I'm-
Quills is
Should-
locked up tight, though.
Should we make my mansion like the headquarters, our HQ, or do we want to make Jolly's? Because I don't know which one's more like.
Well, yours, Jolly's we don't own, and yours at least has staff on site. Right?
Singular.
Some sort of warning. Yeah. Singular? Isn't there guards?
I don't know.
I'm not sure
guards.
there
I
are
think
even
was-
windows
I think there was
right
3
now.
servants. Oh
Three
yeah, at
servants?
at the office don't have a window because
Brandon will
someone
protect
destroyed
us.
it.
Yeah.
That's 3 extra sets of eyes.
Yeah.
It is bigger though.
Okay.
That's a good thing.
So midnight arrives, and then you head out to Sale Street, which is right.
Did anybody ask me to come?
Aren't you
I
with
thought
us?
we just run into you.
You were at Jolly's talking. I was already at Elaine's.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah, we
we're
did
definitely
ask.
coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, we met back at Lynn's, though.
Yeah. When you come in, I'm probably like studying a book, and there's like a magical light over it.
You can read?
No,
I was
can't.
surprised.
I cannot read.
I'm always,
Just looking
always
at the pretty
surprised when
pictures.
human
Yes.
children can read.
so we didn't take a rest or anything, did we?
A short rest is probably fine.
Oh, short. Okay.
Yeah. And Jack Hins, in the package, you find 300 gold pieces and 3 dragon scales, green.
Okay.
So
So
there
like
you go.
just rough green dragon scales that's been cut from
So,
dragon.
so they were cut and cleaned and glazed with some varnish or something. So definitely decorative and definitely can be used like coins for people who don't want to hang around with actual gold.
Who
Okay,
doesn't want
so,
gold?
so I've been carrying around this really heavy package and like, oh, this is actually heavy.
Actually heavy, yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
yes.
While we're waiting, of course, I'll share the information I know about Mr. White being a ghost or an urban legend, we're not sure, but likely a ghost, as well as the ships going missing on the Sword Coast and the rumors of giant ships made of ice.
Okay.
And more information is coming regarding Vasco Varcona and the Star Dancer. Hopefully, my contact is going to leave me information at Jolly's Quills. So if you see a letter addressed to me, please let me know.
Yep.
I'll let you know, since I know how to read, and I will also
Excellent.
inform all of the group that I know how to read and nothing else that I've been doing.
Eileen asks Jenkins, any progress on the map?
Yes. I put it in some special oil that would restore it. It just needs to lie there for like the night.
Where is it?
It's at Jolly's place.
At Jolly's place? We were
disturb it.
just there.
Yeah. It's like in a box and with some special oils and stuff.
How long is it going to take?
I would suggest that we don't leave the map out of our sight at Jolly's. We should probably go
hid it.
retrieve it and bring it to the mansion.
I hid it. It's safe.
Mm-hmm.
We're
Insight?
going to go there tomorrow
Insight?
morning, young man.
No,
It was a
he can lie
collective
to me all he
groan.
wants.
It's safe.
Fucking Jenkins is a compulsive liar.
I'm not a compulsive liar. I just don't trust you.
Compulsive liar, but you can't seem to beat his deceptions. Yeah, so.
So while we're waiting for midnight, then I'd like to go back to Jolly's Quills and check for my letter. See if Kale has dropped anything off for me.
So he did.
Excellent. While I'm there, I'm going to look for the map.
Okay. So
Remember, it was in a box in a jar hidden somewhere.
Oils. It shouldn't be that hard to find.
Box in a jar.
I'm really good at hiding stuff.
Box in a jar.
It's a box jar.
Yeah.
So you in the letter that Kale left, he kind of slipped it under the door.
Perfect.
You learn that the Star Dancer was lost in sea, something like a week ago, or maybe less. But debris from the Star Dancer kind of floated around Waterdeep, something like 3 or 4 days ago.
So it was probably lost near Waterdeep as well. We don't tend to. Okay. Any names or anything about who found it or?
So the Waterdeep has guilds that are responsible for the operation of the city, and one of the guilds is responsible for removing flotsam from the harbor, and this is how they found the debris. They didn't found the body of any bodies actually from the crew, not Vasco. Vasco was actually the captain, and not the crew. But you also learn that this Vasco guy is very reliable. He is an explorer and a trader and a very reliable seafarer. So he's not a pirate or some reckless so yeah,
a respectable captain and merchant.
Yeah.
Very well. Okay, so I'll return just before midnight after an unsuccessful search, by the way, and just inform the group that the Star Dancer was lost at sea, no sign of the crew. They found some of the flotsam here in the harbor, and by all accounts, Vasco Varcona was a very respectable captain and honest merchant.
So he's missing as well. He was on the ship.
Him and the whole crew, although I'm not surprised if it was lost at sea, that the bodies wouldn't have made it back here. But this close to Waterdeep, I'd be surprised that something would just take down a perfectly good ship without somebody seeing something. And I mean, it's unlikely that they went to ground, unlikely that a storm took them out. A storm this close, we'd have known about it. Right?
Yeah, but if there's like ice ships, floating around.
Yeah. If that's legit, then that's what I was thinking. Some other ship took them down and then scuttled the ship.
Maybe we'll get some answers tomorrow when the map finishes regenerating in the oil.
Make your
Jollies.
make an investigation check, Elithier, to see if you can find the map.
13.
So it's probably well hidden because you don't find anything.
Yeah, and you hid the map well. I couldn't find it.
Of course I did.
Hmm. Tomorrow you'll have to show me where.
Yes, of course. Well, maybe it's my secret hiding spot. I'm,
Uh-huh. Too many secrets in this little group here.
They all seem to be generating from one person though.
What? What secrets? I haven't noticed anybody keeping secrets.
So shall we head to the warehouse?
Yeah, Scout.
Yep.
Okay.
Let's do that.
So you head to Sale Street, which is located right around here. Bloop. And it's very near the dock, so at midnight the place is nearly empty but well lit. City Watch patrols kind of move about these streets every half an hour, and so you meet those people, groups of 8. They nod you. They look at you and kind of nod as they see you, probably recognizing Zunis and Eileen, who are kind of minor celebrities in town. Unless you want to...
Yeah, I want to hang back.
Okay.
Just, yeah, get into a bar and just like look at the place from a window.
And Zunis, do you make yourself kind of visible, or do you also lay low?
What are the other guys from the party doing?
So I'm gonna leave my armor with Forgar. They're just in a sack wherever you are, and I want to take to the rooftops and look around.
Okay.
I was wondering if Lady Ellen, if you have the ability to determine if there's any magic on the doors and windows.
Dang, I wish I had taken Detect Magic, but I did not.
Isn't that like the first one you learn in school?
I have Detect Magic.
I just haven't been practicing it. It's like math. If you don't practice it, you just get bad at it.
Hey guys.
Yeah, that's fair.
I
You're
have
back?
Well,
Yeah.
Okay.
Hope this time for good.
Do you also
Okay,
are you
we're
back with
still
Detect
around
Magic
here.
though?
We're at the
I do have.
warehouse.
I can detect magic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so just like cast Detect Magic and take a stroll around the warehouse.
Wait, aren't you a celebrity?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Wear a hood.
Look, what I'm doing is I will cast Detect Magic and then I will turn into a black cat and
So I was thinking
Six,
about you
oh.
all kind of strolling down the street, but no, you all vanish into the shadows and kind of it's like a Ninja Turtles mission.
I'm getting left behind holding.
Yeah,
holding
oh,
Brian's purse
rooftops, sewers,
right.
eating pizza with ice cream, and
Trigonomics.
okay.
Jenkins will be next to you for and saying, like, really?
All
Have
right.
have they never been like in a city before? Like, what are they doing?
It's like enemy territory or something like that.
Yeah, this is not how you act if you want to be inconspicuous.
Right.
Come on.
And then I slap your hand when you try and dig in his pockets.
No, I don't do that. I won't do that.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
so I need
yeah.
Don't worry.
every party member who actually tries to be stealthy, please roll your stealth check, because there are patrols on the street and you don't want to be seen. So
I don't need to be stealthy if I turn into a cat, right?
correct.
Do I need to be stealthy if I'm in a bar like across the street?
No.
Great.
Actually,
and I'm
I'll-
going to
I'll-
go ahead.
I'll be stealthy also, but like as a normal street kid, I'm just hanging out on the street, as street kids do.
Standing under a light post.
Yes. Yes, I'm standing on that. Goddamn. No. The whole time, four guys like following me around. So what are you doing? Why are you standing over there?
Yeah.
Why are you going into the corner? Like, why is it? Come on.
I'm not good at this whole city thing. What are you doing? Why are we hiding?
There's this one guard that just hates you, and he happens to be patrolling that street today.
No, he's dead. Amen.
He's dead. Yeah, he died.
Yeah.
Oh, well, the second course.
The second aim.
So yeah,
Like you said, sometimes the best hiding place is right in the open. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a circuitous route around and kind of go up onto the rooftops and come around. I want to try and see into some of the windows. I assume it's like a 2-story affair, a big warehouse.
yep, correct.
Yeah, I want to be able to try and see into some of the windows.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
I assume
will
I need to make an athletics check as well.
I will follow him around as a cat with detect magic.
Oh, nice. So a 16 athletics and a 21 stealth. No, 20 stealth.
That's great. Okay, so Jenkins, while you kind of jump from corner to corner, and with Forgar behind you, what are you doing? Why are you there? Why are you hiding in this puddle?
It's not deep enough.
You draw the attention of someone who kind of peeks at you from a distance and then, assertively strides toward you. And when one of the lamps that are lit around kind of shines on his face, you recognize him as Dran Hammerclaw, Aemon's arch nemesis of a sort. And he looks at you and says, well, what do we have here? Without Aemon's guarding, watching over you, you are trying to make a hit, burglaring into one of the buildings around.
I never burgled anything. And I'll shove my burglar's pack around. I just looked at my code sheet and it says like burglar's pack. That's what the rogue stuff is. Yeah.
Acme Burglar's Pack.
Yeah.
So as he approaches you, seven of his patrol comrades, they kind of group around you. So what is it that you do here, Mr. Jenkins? Mr. Rennar, sorry.
I'm.
I interrupt and I say, hi, I'm Forgar, and I shake everybody's hand. I'm just following around. I'm trying to make him a better guy, so I'm working like a big brother here. He's just showing me the places that he hangs out.
He's in this program?
I'm just trying to find a place to sleep here.
So I need Forgar to make a deception check, while Rennar, they look at you and say, Dran looks at you and says, sleep here? Aren't you sleeping at Jolly's Quill or something like that?
Well,
18.
Jolly isn't home.
What, you burgled into his house and find it empty?
No, I'm not.
I find this line of questioning offensive. He's trying to make himself better here, and all you're doing is bringing up all the bad things he's done.
I've never done.
What bad things he's done that we're not aware of, Mr. Forgar, is it?
Yeah.
You
I
mind?
haven't done any bad things, like except for those that I already paid for, of course.
So really, why are you here? And where is Aemon?
Oh,
You
you
haven't
haven't
heard?
heard. We went to Nightstone escorting this ambassador there, and Aemon didn't make it. There was some trouble there with orcs.
Orcs. And you see him like he takes a step back, and you can definitely see that the people around him you kind of look shocked. Aemon was a very known and respectable part of their day-to-day. And he says, "What happened?"
Drown.
Does
Yeah.
Magister Van Devries know about it?
Yeah, I told him yesterday. Today? Yesterday? I don't know what time it is.
It was today, I think. We haven't slept here.
So he kind of put his hand on you, Jackins, and on you, Forgar, and he says, "I'm really sorry about it. These are very bad news. I will let you go about your business, and I will talk to the Magister. I hasn't seen him today."
All right, thank you.
And then he leaves.
And then I smack Jenkins for making an ass of himself.
I didn't make an ass of myself. Come on.
These are the kind of people you hang out with.
Elithir,
You try to avoid them.
Yes.
did you make a perception roll for me? I'm not sure I
I'm
asked.
not,
Okay,
but I can.
I'm not sure I
I think
asked.
you got a 20.
15.
15. Okay, I think 20 was his stealth or.
Oh,
his,
the stuff. Right.
Okay, so
Yeah. 16
you
athletics.
oversee all this as a drawn, as this city guard or city watch man kind of stops Jackhans and Forgar. You manage to catch this scene and look at the warehouse at the same time. Zunis, you also see this. Plus, both of you see, since Zunis, you're a cat. And you see well in the dark, and you're very close to the warehouse. You both see a half-elf emerging from the warehouse, and as he opens the door, kind of light pours out, and two humans wearing black leathers with. Oh, that's nice. I have a new subscriber.
He's one of the
This
humans with
just
black
in.
leather, right?
Yeah. So you see two men wearing black leathers come out right after this half-elf. Now this half-elf is wearing kind of a grayish pants with how do you call those white socks? The people
Tube socks.
people from the 14th, 15th century used to wear
Like a pantaloon?
probably, I don't know.
Like really poofy?
Yeah, really poofy socks, and over the his white shirt, he wears a blue coat with lots of buckles made of gold and a sword that has never been used ever. He has this small stripe of a goatee, and he holds his wine glass like this, and he goes out of the warehouse and say, "Oh my, I need air."
And those two are his guards, I assume,
Yes,
by their body language.
yes, and they kind of sit like this, bored to their, bored senseless. And he says, "Oh, please, get inside and unload this ship. I simply cannot bear the smell of these people."
Oh,
He
there's
looks
an
like a totally
opportunity.
trust.
And then they kind of look at each other and go in. And he stands with his glass and, oh.
Is the door closed or is it still open?
No, it's still open.
Wait, is this at the docks? He said unload this ship. Are we near the docks
Ship.
right now?
Shipment, I think.
Yeah,
is
so you
what he meant.
you missed me saying that you are at Snail Street. I just clicked it on Roll20. So it's very clear, very near the docks,
Okay.
but not that close. So it's kind of strange that he mentions a load, but and you don't.
Is Abby sneaking too,
Especially
or
in
is
the
he
middle
with
of the
me?
night. Anybody working in the middle of the night like this is not
Yeah,
they're not following the rules.
exactly.
Yeah.
There's an opportunity here. Zunis, you're there, right?
Yep,
You're nearby, but you're in a cat form.
correct.
I say, can you jump down there and lure him away from the door real quick?
I,
We can
I
take, I think we can take him.
okay. Okay. I jump down and
How far down is it?
I'm a cat. I can.
Yeah, you are.
but
I'm not.
Okay.
Wait.
How? Yeah, I don't know how deep it is, the jump. Heido, can you tell us?
So it's like a 3-story building, at least 3-story high, and it's a warehouse. It has probably 2 sets of doors. One really big, so it can actually be used to load and unload cargo. But this is not the door that is open right now. What is open is a small side door that leads kind of to the back side of the warehouse, and you can't see anything inside, but through the windows you can see kind of a system of pulleys and levers, and maybe an office, but to see anything more you need to get closer.
If the guy's wearing a hat, you can steal his hat and run into an alley or something. Maybe
So-
he'll chase.
So he's not wearing a hat. He has this long hair and 2 earrings, and he looks as if he's enjoying the evenings.
But he's a drunk fop. If you curl up around his legs and slowly lure him away, he might follow. I have a
Does it-
question for you. The jump spell would allow me to jump down that far, right?
Probably yes.
It's definitely within. I mean, I can go 42
Yeah,
feet.
it's magic. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, yeah. So I jump down and I sit down a few meters away from him, and I just start meowing at him.
Okay. So you jump down and kind of. So are you simply meowing or trying to scare him
Yep.
away?
No, I'm just meowing at him, hoping he will come to me or something.
Okay, so he stands like this in the middle of the, next to the door, and as you start pouring, he looks down. Oh, what we have here? And then he looks at his cup, and then he looks around, and then he picks up something that looks like a leaf or something like that, and he tries to curl it and pour some of the wine into it, and then he lowers it down for you. A splendid Chulten wine. It will make wonders for you. Come. It's very good.
I take a sip. Is it good? Do I recognize it as like quality wine or?
I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
You're a fucking
Drunk
cat.
cat.
What I was thinking. Oh yeah, I'm a cat.
Yeah.
Cats probably don't have
cat.
a lot of constitution.
So you kind of go
10.
crazy. Lap, 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 lap.
An 8.
An 8.
Awesome.
So
There we go.
your cat liver didn't didn't make it. So you are considered intoxicated right now. Which means you probably have some disadvantages on ability checks or something like that. We can check it. But,
Yeah, it's disadvantage on everything,
Everything.
pretty much.
okay, so you've got a drunk cat.
Yeah, at least for attacks, I can't. I think it's ability scores also. I have the list right here.
Okay, so yeah, I'll let
Attack
you.
rolls and attack rolls and ability checks.
To everything.
To it.
Not saves, but yeah, close.
So, are you gonna lead him away at least?
yeah, I'm trying to. I'm
Forgot that.
Is he petting me or anything?
Yes.
I'm trying
Yes,
to
he kind
get
of
him to pet me.
get you under the chin, and he pets you, and he is working with you, and he says, "Where did you come from? You're a black cat. We don't see a lot of black cats here, you know. It's something about the mice. They are huge, monumental. You won't believe the size of them. I hate going into the caves below this warehouse. It gives me the creeps.
Nice.
Okay, that's good information.
You gonna remember it?
Right. We'll see about that later. So yeah, I'm trying to lure him away a little bit. Every time, like, if he's petting me, I'm just. You know how cats sometimes they just walk around through your legs and everything, and
Yes.
yeah, I'm doing that and kind of luring him away if he follows me and keeps petting me.
Okay, I need you to make a perception check with a disadvantage.
Okay. Luckily, cats have a lot of.
Elithier, what
Yep.
what are you doing? You told me that you also want to jump down.
Yeah, I'm waiting till he's away from the door.
Okay.
Good enough distance, and then I'm going to cast Jump on myself, and I'm going to assault him from above.
Okay.
Attempt to knock him unconscious with my daggers.
There's
Just-
two
just
goons, right?
Assassin's Creed him from above, like you jump straight down.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it says if it's a perception check that relies on smell, I would have advantage, so
No.
it would cancel out with a
No, it's
disadvantage.
only a sight.
Oh, it's sight. Okay. Okay. The
So,
second
6.
roll wasn't as good.
Okay. So all you can hear is this guy says, "Oops, I'm leaking, silly bee," and then you see him do something, but you're not sure what.
Okay.
Elithier, as you jump down, make that same perception check.
9, I believe.
Okay, so
Yeah, 9.
all you see is the cat kind of swirling around this half-elf's legs, and then he says, "Oops, I'm leaking," and then he looks up, and you can see blood running from his nose. So he kind of tries to snuff it in, and then you kind of crash on top of him.
Perfect. Is he a human?
Half-elf.
Oh, half elf. Okay. Not good enough. However, so advantage. Do I get 2 attacks or just the 1?
2 attacks.
So advantage on both.
Sure, why not?
So a 22 and a 17.
Don't kill him.
And I have an ally that's within 5 feet, so
Intoxicated.
Sneak attack?
Intoxicated ally.
still distracting him.
Yes, of course.
So I'm going for non-lethal damage. 4, 8, 13, 19.
Okay.
Those good old non-lethal backstabs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
one
So
in the back
vital
of the
order.
Grabbing
head.
the knife in. Oh, it's non-lethal, so it's...
Yeah.
Yeah, the back
He,
end.
he didn't need his throat. He didn't need that.
One on
Okay.
the back of the head, one on the back of the shoulder.
Ta-da, 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 ta-da. Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. Okay. So it's non-lethal damage, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
How much?
That's what I'm going for.
How many
19.
points? 19. Okay. So he drops and is down. He drops like a ragdoll, kind of, and the glass, the wine glass, just shatters on the floor.
Shit. Okay, well, I've got to lift him over my shoulder and find cover because the glass made noise.
He'll leave a trail of blood and wine.
Yeah.
So you
Like all good aristocrats should, right? Like,
okay? So you pick him up and flee to the shadows, I assume. Make a stealth check. I believe you're strong enough to simply lift this man. But make a stealth check just to see.
19.
Okay, with a 19, you dissolve into darkness. What the rest of you are doing? It's
I drunkenly waddle into the building, and I'm trying to be a little bit stealthy as much as I can.
Do I see this happening from
yes.
my safe place?
Of course.
I want to casually leave, and wide berth the warehouse, and to meet up with our elven friend or half elf. What races are you, Brian?
I'm a wild elf.
Yeah, wild elf. Wood elf.
Okay. So, are you making a stealth check? Or please do make a stealth check if you want to be stealthy.
All right. Yeah, I don't want to be seen by guards. But I do like take my time. Like I'm careful. Like take a wide berth.
Okay.
So
I'll sneak over there also.
Good at 8 and 8.
Guys, just leaving me here with all this chainmail, eh?
Scale mail.
Scale mail? Alright.
It's heavier
I have
than...
chainmail.
Yeah.
I'll stick around with you.
Yeah.
You'll hang out? Alright.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll go back to that bar across the street. And
Yeah. And I'll just be saying, oh, there's a nice bar over there, and then I'm gone.
yeah. What? I was just here.
Okay. So let me know exactly where each of you are. Let's start with Zunis.
I go into the building. I
Okay.
drunkenly waddle into it.
Okay, Zunis is in the building. Quarian?
I'll stick in the back with Forgar for now.
Okay, so Forgar, I assume Forgar and Quarian are out. Elithir and Eileen?
I'm guessing I would have gone down like a narrow side alley or something like that.
Yep.
And I'm going to stop halfway down the alley to bind, gag, and blindfold him.
Okay. And I assume you meet with Eileen, but Eileen, since he's stealthy, you need to make a perception check to actually spot him.
If I see her looking, I'll whistle her over.
Okay, so you hear a whistle.
Okay, cool.
Okay, great. So we have Elithir and Eileen. Jackins?
I'm with them also.
Okay.
I'm over there.
Great. Elithir, while you are gagging and starting to bind this guy, he kind of, his eyelids kind of flutter and then he opens them. And
Okay, well, I've got my mask on, so at least you won't recognize my face.
And he says, "Oh my, this is exciting. Am I being robbed? This never happened to me before. What am I supposed to do? Should I be scared? I can shout, but maybe you don't want me to shout. What should I do?"
Before he sees me, I want to put my hood up so I can hide my face.
Okay.
I'm gonna lean in real close to him and I'll be like, "Shh, hey, shh, you're not being robbed. Your friend, what was his name? Steven Storrs. What's his name?
Lauren?
He hired us to come. Yeah. He hired us to pretend kidnap you. We're taking you over to the. What was the name of that bar you were at, Jenkins? The
blushing nymph.
The blushing nymph.
Oh,
Are you ready to get your pants knocked off you, buddy?
Oh, this is so exciting. I've never been kidnapped before.
Okay, all right. So just follow along, all right? I gotta blindfold you. Don't worry.
And you can see him shaking from excitement, and he just said, "Okay, just be careful, don't touch me too hard." But yes, I'm ready.
I will gently bind his. I will gently bind his hands because anything tighter than that he might get, and then I will blindfold him, and I'll motion to, I guess, one of you two, and take him up under his other arm, and we'll kind of walk him out like he's drunk, which he is.
Okay.
and I'm gonna look to you there, Jekken. Like, I don't know where to go. Where do you want him to go? Where do you want it? Do you have a safe place to take this guy, or should we take him back to the mansion?
Mm-mm.
That was
Maybe the back of
yeah.
Jolly's quilt or
Dead.
something like that. Does he have a storeroom?
the administrator.
Well, we're pretty far away, but I know the city. It's like, as a street urchin, I know everything about the city. So I probably know where there's like an abandoned building nearby that we could take him to.
That would be perfect.
Yeah.
Mm.
So who's taking him and where?
Some abandoned building nearby, and
It's-
I'll help carry him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
it's-
he's our drunk friend, like we're
Yeah.
carousing down the street.
And he's blinded? Like, blindfolded?
Well, I'm gonna
Drunk
put
friend?
a hood over him.
If you
So
guys give-
so
Like,
he
my cloak on, so his hood's over it, so that nobody can see that.
he kind of gets really excited when you come with the gag, but when you try to blindfold him, he says, "No, where's the fun in that? Where's the fun in that? I want to see. I want it in the light."
Oh, it's just part of the story. I was paid to do this, so sorry, I have to. Don't worry, I won't tie it too tight. Or do you want me to tie it too tight?
The safety word is cornbread.
The safe word is basilisk.
Basilisk cornbread.
As you come to blindfold him, you suddenly feel this massive headache, Elithir. I need you to make a intelligence saving throw.
That's my best one.
And Renar, since you are also there, you can see that this noble half-elven man starts to bleed from the nose again.
Oh, fuck. His
Yeah,
head's gonna explode.
Someone said.
his head. is
He's
supposed
a
to explode, yeah.
scanner. I rocked that saving throw. I got a 2.
2.
How much psychic damage do I take?
How,
Or do I dissolve into water?
how many hit points do you have?
27.
So you're fine. It's only 10 points of psychic damage.
Oh,
It's-
only 10, so just a minor headache. Okay.
So,
no.
so my head goes like crack, and he starts to bleed from the nose, and I'm gonna knock his socks off.
So it kinds of an exploding headache that catches you. Now I'm rolling more dice, and I got it's an 8 and a 9. Is your intelligence score higher than 9?
Yes.
Okay.
Just.
That sounded close.
Yeah,
Usually
that
is.
was really close.
Okay.
So
So you recover from this blinding headache, and then
And while this is happening, I'm saying, like, look out, his head's going to explode. I've seen it before. And like, I get my cloak off to cover myself.
okay. So you, Renar, cover your face. Elithir, what do you do?
does he look like he's doing this intentionally? Like, does he have a look of like, don't do that? Like, because I was going to go to blindfold him. Is he trying to prevent?
Not physically, but he did ask you not to blindfold him.
Okay, I'll step back and pretend like I don't know it was him. I'll be like, oh, sorry. I don't know what just overcame me. You're bleeding from the nose. And I'll hand him the blindfold.
My handkerchief. It's in my pocket, the back pocket. Please.
I'll hand him the blindfold.
No, the other pocket.
I'll hand him the blindfold. I'm not paid to do that, buddy. Sorry, sir.
It will be much easier if you release me the blood. If I see it, if I lose too much, I might faint. And then where's the fun in?
I'll pinch his nose with the blindfold to say, listen, I won't blindfold you.
Okay.
But when your friend asks, you got to tell him that we blindfolded you, all right?
Okay. When you do pinch his nose, you feel that mind exploding pain again. Make another intelligence check.
Damn.
This guy. Okay,
do
that
something
one's a
about this
little
guy.
better. 13.
13 is awesome. You kind of grip yourself and overcome the pain, but you now definitely know that something is very wrong with this guy.
Okay, I will unbind his hands so he can take his handkerchief out.
Ooh.
I'll say, all right,
Oh, thanks.
come this way. Your friend's waiting for us nearby,
Oh.
and then we're off to the nymph.
It's blood. And then you
Guys.
can...
It's a lot of blood. Yeah. Oh,
Are
you're
we
not
able
feeling
to see
woozy,
this?
are you? Does blood make you woozy?
Oh, yes, it does. Please, let me just sit here for a while.
I will.
Just like-
Go ahead.
Clog up his nose with the blindfold or something so he doesn't see it.
I tried to do that and it hurt.
Too late.
Ah, damn.
So I'm gonna say no. We can't sit here. It's filthy. Look around. This is dirty. And I'm gonna pull him quickly up to a standing position and spin him around as fast. I'm hoping that he'll pass out, and then we got to make all haste. Your friend is waiting for us. The party is just beginning, and I'm gonna run with him.
So you start to run with him, you spin him, and he kind of flails around, and then he puts a hand on your shoulder, and
son of a
then
bitch.
he kind of looks at Renar and says, "Who is this guy?"
He's with me.
Renar, how's your intelligence going?
Oh, that's good.
Make an intelligence saving throw.
17.
17 is awesome. You are attacked by this obnoxious headache, but you get a grip on yourself and you manage to overcome it, and then it suddenly stops. And the half elven says, "Oh, maybe some wine from my private collection. If you want,
Yeah.
I can show you, because you are such a fine gentleman. Also, I remember a cat."
cat?
And I'm looking really confused, like having my cloak down. Okay, so his head didn't explode, and there's a cat, and this is just weird.
I'll
Let's
say,
head to that abandoned house before he explodes
we-
on the street.
No kidding. So we've got to take you to meet your friend, and then from there we're going to the nymph, and I've got a job to do here, sir. So let's just go that way, please. Follow us. We'll meet your friend.
I try to avoid his gaze.
He says,
Yeah, I'm not gonna touch this guy.
I'm coming, and he waves the handkerchief, and then he kind of...
Fuck.
Perfect.
Oh, yes.
Now
That
I'm
was
gonna
gonna be an escort
blindfold
quest.
him and gag him and tie his hands up.
Don't touch his head.
No, well I have to blindfold him and gag him.
Okay.
Who is this guy? I asked now.
I don't know. He's in the warehouse. He's got some sort of position of responsibility, and I knocked him unconscious. But where's Zunis? Have you seen Zunis? He was a cat not too long ago.
So, Zunis.
Yeah, I make my way into the building and I look around if I can see some way down.
Okay, so indeed you see, what you see is it's a warehouse full of crates and barrels. You don't see anything very interesting in those crates or barrels. They are all marked with the emblem of House Elturchel, which is basically an open book with a flame coming out of it, as appropriate for a magical academy. And it looks mostly dusty and unused. You do see a trapdoor open on the floor, and as you go into the building, into the warehouse, you can see one of those black leathered dudes descending the stairs, holding a big chest. It's open and you can see a lot of bottles inside, and he kind of shakes them on his way down.
Okay. Remember, I still have to take magic on, right?
Yes, no magic so far.
Okay. I will try to follow this guy downstairs then
Okay.
and take a look.
So you do follow him, and what you get to is basically something that looks like a converted wine cellar. You can see a lot of shelves on the wall. It's very damp. Obviously, it's underground. Bottles everywhere, and then you see something strange. The guy with the black leathers, he puts the chest down. He takes a bottle, stuffs it in one of the shelves in the where there is a place for a bottle. He kind of rattles it as if rattling a key in a lock, and then a part of the wall simply moves. This guy is looking left and right, and then into the opening, and then it starts to close.
Yeah, I'm definitely I'm going in there.
Okay.
You have to.
Great. So you do enter this place, and as you walk there, kind of still tipsy, I needed to make a perception check. Disadvantage.
Okay. Advantage. Oh, that sucks.
That's a 4. Okay. So what you see?
Well, no, it's not an automatic failure, no one.
No. So as you kind of go into this cave-like opening, your furry feet kind of steps on something gooey and icky, like a puddle of goo. And as you kind of examine it, you feel like something in the wall is moving next to you, but when you look at it, it's just a wall decorated with some strange carving of octopuses and mermaids and stuff like that, but nothing's moving.
Right.
Quarian.
So
Yeah.
So I wanted to say when we leave, we'd go past the front of the building and motion to Forgar and Quarian.
Okay, so as you do, before you do, you and Forgar, you witness two more people, two more men wearing black leathers, escorting a young half-elven female, and she is walking with this grand dress, holding a glass of wine, and with her there is this young human wearing the robes of House Elter Chul. You immediately identify this guy as a wizard, maybe an apprentice because of his young age, and they are deep in conversation, headed to the warehouse.
Where is they coming from?
They come from Dock Street. So as you stand at Sale Street, this is the intersecting street. So they simply walk. You think that they simply had to walk on the docks, and then they're headed to the warehouse.
I want to get a bit of that wine.
Actually, let's go intercept them. Tell them about that young elf who, for some reason, walked out there all drunk and stuff.
So you
No.
He went
No.
to the
What if
went
it's a
to his
wine
dock
warehouse
for
and
some
you
reason.
look like a
Hey, you
weirdo?
He
You
went that away.
You sent the right person to convince them, so.
Okay, so you approach those two, and as you basically emerge from the shadows, just below the main road, they kind of look startled. The two black-leathered men kind of stand in front of you. One of them says, "We're gonna have any trouble here."
With me?
Ah, no
Absolutely not. No.
Then
No, we just wondered if you happen to know that we just sound like well, forgive me for saying that, but One of our own. I just saw like this half-elf guy who was a bit nearly passed out drunk, walking around over in that direction, and I point over in the direction so that they can continue walking away from the White House.
The woman says, "Is he talking about store?" And kind of waves this way, and the black leather man says, "Was he wearing a sword that looks like it has never been used before?"
Yeah,
That's the guy.
That looks strange to me too. He had very nice clothing, I would say.
And she says, "Oh my God, your breath! Shower! You don't shower? You don't brush your teeth? It's unbearable."
Forgive me,
I
my
cough and
lady.
breathe lightning.
So what are you doing here? So go find him or something like that. Someone will pay you for this, I'm sure. Oh.
Perfect. We can bring him back and get paid for the whole thing.
That's the 500 golds we need, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
And the young wizard says, "I am terribly sorry, mistress. This was supposed to be a very short and pleasant night, simply to drink a cup of wine." And she says, "Stop babbling. I want my bottle, not your babbling. And get those two riffraffs out of my way, the dragonborn. Oh my God, the stench. Don't they make purses out of these creatures?"
Oh, my lady, that is not a nice way to speak of my friend here.
Dang.
We shall be gone and we shall find your friend. Do not worry.
Go, be gone now. Oof. And she and the wizard, who is obviously trying to impress her, they continue to the warehouse and simply stand there at the opening, at the door. She doesn't go in.
I stand there and burn laser holes into her head with my eyeballs.
So Forgar, you and Quarian, as you finish this nice chit chat, Elithir and Renar meet you.
Me too.
And Deline, sorry.
I'm still just glaring at that lady.
Yes. So this guy is now unconscious, gagged, blindfolded, and his hands are tied behind his back. I'm carrying him like over my shoulder like a sack of potatoes, and Mr. Renar is leading the way. Yeah.
Yes.
I'll just kind of like give you guys like the wide-eyed, I'm in over my head look.
Yeah. We're power walking.
I'm like, yeah.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
Probably got blood coming out of my face from where he fucking scanned me.
Okay, let's go find a place where we can put him down for a bit until he rests a bit.
We're not gonna tell him that we could get paid for this kidnapping.
Well,
We
that'll
gotta
come
get out
later.
of Dodge.
First
We gotta
things
get out of
first.
the street.
Yeah. So take him to that.
We might be
abandoned
able to
house.
get paid in other ways.
Yeah.
Just steal everything he has.
Like
Yeah.
those gold buckles.
And the
Zunis.
sword.
Okay, so to summarize, I'm drunk and I'm probably on some sort of
Monster goo.
To summarize, you're drunk in a dungeon by yourself.
Yeah.
As a cat.
Yes.
yeah,
and
I'm,
typically.
And nobody
That's
else
okay.
knows how to get into that room.
yeah, and I'm hallucinating. So
Maybe, maybe not.
probably
This is
So
a perfect
um,
scenario. You've got that backup character, right?
I got the backup character. But I mean I'm drunk, so I probably don't have a lot of common sense. So I think I'll continue
okay.
and see where this leads me.
So the tunnel continues forward, and then it comes to a place where you have two openings to your left and to your right, and you can see that this area is probably at sea level or maybe below, because the walls are simply glittering with moisture, and they are all carved in some weird kind of statues or emblems of octopuses that bring down ships and sea creatures diving or well, at some point you do think that you see a shark or something like that kind of tears open a human or something like that. You're not really sure. And the two openings, one to your left, you can see a small chamber with a bed made of stone. Next to it is a pot and a table with an unlit lantern next to it. The right-hand chamber smells funny, and you can see something glittering inside. You're not sure if it's diamonds or coins or whatnot, but something is definitely glittering there. And in front of you is more darkness, and you can hear the sea.
Okay. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to ask, if I can smell salt water or something.
Yes.
So I probably have a way back out. In that case, I will investigate the room on the left side first.
Okay, so you turn and go to that room. The bed itself is very strange. You don't see any blanket or any sign of human activity, but it's definitely a bed made of stone. The pot is strange. It looks like a cylinder, an open cylinder made of, you think, maybe obsidian or maybe some other, maybe basalt, you're not sure. And there's something in it, because you can see sort of not a canopy, but something is closed like this, like maybe a vegetable, maybe some sort of
closed flower type thing.
yeah,
Petals?
exactly.
Okay. I will come back for this later, I think, because I don't think I can carry anything as a cat.
Okay.
So, well, yeah, maybe. Yeah, I will take that thing into my mouth and I will put it at the entrance of the way that leads to the sea.
So
I will put it down there and then go into the.
you're talking about the cylinder?
Like the
yeah,
vegetable thing.
the vegetable thing. Yeah.
Okay, so as you kind of climb on top of it, it opens.
Awesome. So good.
And a facehugger comes all out.
Burn it, fire.
Gonna eat you.
Yep. We're all gonna die, man. We're all gonna die.
First
Okay,
one.
so it just opens. There's nothing inside.
They mostly
Jackins.
So that is okay.
There's only one thing you can do here now. Die.
Jackins,
Yep.
Quarian, Forgar, Ilthir, what are you doing?
Going.
Are we-
I'm leading them to an empty building nearby, some abandoned warehouse or like a small room or something.
Okay.
So just so we can stash the drunk noble there.
Okay.
And I will briefly explain his powers on the way. Don't touch him. Don't let him look at you. Don't make him angry.
Yeah.
Every second I can. Oh.
What are we gonna use him for then? I say.
I don't know,
I say it looked like when as soon as head exploded, it looked like that.
Yeah, when we
Every sec.
perhaps if we keep him blindfolded, maybe maybe we can get some information. I don't know. I don't know how this stuff works, but if it's like magic, if he can't see us, maybe he can't hurt us.
Yeah. But yeah, let's get him out of sight and then
Yes.
find out who he is. If he has anything on it, then we'll tell us who he is.
Yeah.
Don't
and
they
what-
make purses out of you, stupid rich people? Just think they can do whatever the hell they want.
What?
Does this
Purses out of
guy
Rich people?
does Quarian see any resemblance between this guy and the lady he just spoke to? Like, is there a family resemblance there?
No. She looks. She doesn't look as she is part of his family, but she does look like a noble, a high-nosed noble. That was promised very good wine.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna, once we get him to the house there, I'm also gonna cut everything but his underclothes off of him in case he's hiding something, and I'll toss it all to Jenkins to go through.
Okay. So
Assuming you're interested.
if you do look in his belongings, what you do find is on the dash of his coat. If you flip it over, you can see it looks like a serpent of a sort, with a lot of legs, made of pure gold, and
The brooch is made of gold?
the whatever is how do you call it, a pin or something like that.
Yeah.
That's big.
Yeah.
Like
And
a
it's
snake,
gold.
and it's made of gold. Yes, it's looked like it's worth a small fortune.
Can I grab that
Yes, sure.
before Jenkins gets his hands on it?
Well,
Then do you pickpocket
yeah,
him?
I'll show. Well, I think we should show it to Aline. Maybe it's
Yeah,
some
we will.
house symbol, like one of these noble thing. But yeah, we should take everything he has. Like he already has plenty. He don't need money. We need more.
Is there any more of that wine? Like, did you guys happen to? No.
wait.
On?
He drank a lot of wine and his nose started bleeding. Is you want to drink more wine?
The one he had
it-
smashed on the floor.
Yeah,
Oh,
no more
right.
wine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
okay.
it might be the wine that poisoned him and made him almost explode his own head.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that pin and I'm gonna put it under my lapel
Okay.
and make sure it's firmly attached. Looking at you, Jekin.
Do we want
I'm not
Do we want to
stealing.
do
I'm stealing for the group. Taking
Yeah,
to
Take a look at that
realize it.
sword and anything else you find on him.
Oh yeah, we're taking everything.
Do we want to look at
the
the pin? Make sure we know what effect it would have if people saw us with it.
That's why, yeah.
It's hidden.
Yeah, it's hidden for now, and I'm gonna.
Ah, it's hidden.
But
okay,
Yeah, I put it under my lapel in the same place he did, so that it looks,
You
Okay.
can flash
I
it.
can flash it if I need to, but clearly I'd like it if you could identify it.
Okay. So
You were the bard.
he steers again.
Mm-mm.
Um, as,
Are we in the house? I
Yes.
get away from him.
Yes.
All right. So once we're in the house, and do we have all this stuff now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So we have to decide right now. Do we kill him? Do we leave him here and leave right now, or do we try to get information out of him and try to risk our heads exploding?
I think we interrogate him. That's why I took him.
We make a
Right.
purse out of him.
It wasn't him that said that. We don't know.
I'm
This guy
still
could be-
upset about it.
Just because one half elf was a bigot doesn't mean all half elves are bigots. I mean, that's bigotry in itself, right? Like, come on. This is reverse racism. Let's not do that.
Fine.
There,
You guys want
I got
to-
your back, Warian.
Thanks, mate. Right back at you.
Well,
Yeah, I don't like humans.
Is he tied to a chair now? I guess.
Yes.
All right. Then I would sit behind him, a bit apart.
Good idea.
So I don't want to be seen by. I don't want my face be seen by him, or else I would have to kill him. I don't want to be associated.
And then what?
I appreciate that.
Who wants to begin interrogating? If you want to interrogate,
Well, I think the bard should go at her.
Okay.
what are the questions we want to ask?
Like,
What
can
is
we
it?
just get an
What
answer
does
out
it
of him
finally
with
do?
how drunk he is?
Yeah, so this is Mr. White's safe house, right?
Yes.
So we need to know information about Mr. White. What's happening at the warehouse?
And if he's getting the wine from the warehouse, if it's
What has-
something that people are
That's what
giving
I'm
to him.
interested in.
What has he seen in the
Wine
warehouse?
Okay. So
Tell
I
us
need
everything about the warehouse.
And I can loosen the gag enough that he can speak. Well, I'm not going to do it. Sorry, Forgar, can you please loosen the gag enough so he can speak? I'm already hurt.
I take out my quarterstaff and I hold it like a bat, in case he starts
No,
screaming.
I'll say, allow me, and I'll do a small wave with my hand, and
Oh,
and
nice.
mage hand appears and pulls down the gag.
Okay, so you kind of
I'm gonna I'm gonna give you like a respecting like you look like.
As I said, I've been reading.
And
so
let's make it so everybody else is in the shadows except for the one who's interrogating him. So
he spits the gag out, and then he goes, oh my God, who was it that touched me? That was so gentle. What now? What should I do? Should I be standing? Should I be? I'm without my clothes. Yes, it's the best kidnap ever.
I know what I'm gonna do. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm going to cast Phantasmal Force at the guy.
Oh my
okay,
God.
and that crafts an illusion that takes root in his mind, and it's an illusion that can move. That he can actually feel it, assuming he fails his saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
And that illusion is going to be of like what's it probably going to like? Well, it seems kind of gay, so I'm going to make it like another half elf male, very muscular and oily.
Maybe make him like in
Just
between man and woman, so you can.
Just because a guy
Androgynous.
has puffy sleeves, you assume he's gay. Come on.
Not
I
that we're
take it back
soft.
about the half elves.
Okay, so what's
Make a purse.
what's the DC?
This is 13.
Okay.
It's an intelligence saving throw.
So you create this phantasmal force, and you can see him kind of gagged on the chair, and then he suddenly starts to move. Oh yeah, the best kidnap ever. What now? And then he says, "Do you have any grapes? Yes, grapes will be great right now."
What does he want?
And yeah, that illusory creature gives him whatever he wants. He gives grapes, and he pats him here and there, and even spanks him. Whatever makes him talk a bit.
This is an amazing game. This is something else.
Just standing there in the corner, still mumbling about purses.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have both my daggers ready to stab this guy in the throat, just in case.
Look, you're Plan B. I'm Plan A with the bat, right?
Yeah, you're A, I'm B. Got it.
Well, anyway, this guy that I just created in his mind is asking him the following questions: Where's this shipment going to? Where is this? Where is it being led to?
The ship is from Chalt, but don't tell anyone. It's our little dirty secret.
Oh, of course. It is our little secret. And what are you sending them?
They're bringing in wines, fabulous wines made in Chult, in far Chult, in the jungles, in the steaming jungle. Oh yes, there. No, slow. And then he says, "It's the most profitable business I currently own."
Ooh. So you're making a lot of profit. That is so nice.
I currently own?
Yes.
What's his name?
I thought I will be studying magic, but when I found the warehouse and I found the secret entrance to the port, I just couldn't resist. And my money now is spent on a good purpose. Wine, fabulous wine. Ooh. And then he goes into a spasm.
Okay.
You're not going to roleplay that?
Where are the grapes going?
Yeah, where are the grapes going? Thank you, Mariana, for asking that question. That's what I
The
wanted to know.
important facts, you know?
Oh my God.
Where are the grapes going? Tell us.
It's the best Dark Knight boys.
We have.
Swear to me.
It's not just the two of us.
What's his name?
Trying to
Come on, ask him his name.
to understand where is it? Who is it being sold to? Where is it being led to? What ship?
You're asking about the name of the ship that does what? That does the
Specifically, I
selling?
want to know who is the buyer.
Oh.
If I can get the name of the ship or some more details about who are the guys who are
He
leading
says
it.
the ship, it's a black Chilton vessel named the Zarkanan. It is captained by a black-skinned woman named Durana.
I'm gonna whisper in your ear there, ask him about Mr. White.
Okay. So, so how can I phrase this in a way of the name of a question? By the end of a question. No, damn it.
How about like tell us everything he's seen in the caves underneath the warehouse?
Yeah, I still want to know this guy's name, by the way.
In his name.
Who are these people who are whispering? Am I being watched right now? This is so dirty.
Do you like being watched?
He says, you wanted to know. You wanted to know what? I'll say anything. Just continue.
So I'm gonna whisper in his ear, so he can't see me. Tell us what we need to know, and it'll finish.
Oh, jeez.
He turns his head towards you, Elithir, and then he, from being tied up like this, he starts doing this.
He's seizing.
Mm-hmm.
I dive for cover.
Yeah.
I take.
Everybody get down!
I wanna smash his head.
Zunis.
Okay, so am I? I'm not dead yet.
I'm not dead yet. You
Status report. I'm not dead yet.
That's
Not in Cat Haven. Heaven.
As soon as you wake up in Orabora, or like what is it? One of the heavenly planes are the very good heaven.
I'm picturing the camera flash back to Zunis, and he's got his leg in the air and licking himself, and then he like realizes we're watching.
No, I'm more surprised that I'm still alive. Okay, so
So am I.
So the flower opened, and then from within the base of the flower, you see, like tentacles kind of rise, and then something is puked out of the middle section of this flower, and it falls on the ground like this icky, gooey thing. And when you look at it, it looks like a brain.
Oh, is this how
So as-
antivirus report?
as that's happening, I like leap back a little bit and I take a look at it. It seems like it's alive, the brain. It's some sort of creature.
So I'm imagining this black cat kind of takes a step back and then with his feet kind of trying to touch it. So as you kind of look at it, it suddenly sprout legs, strange chicken-like legs, both front legs and back, and then it looks at you. And I need you to roll for initiative.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's a juicy brain to prey on.
Cat versus brain. You can do it.
Camera back to you
Can't
at
hear you, James.
camera back at you guys. As this guy is spasming, Renar and Elithir, you both see, and Elin, you see blood coming out. Loza. You both see kind of blood coming down from his nose, and then some yellowish stuff. And he suddenly stops spasming, and from the back of the warehouse you can hear this noise. As you kind of turn there, you see the same brainish like creature standing at the far side of the warehouse, and I need you all to make initiative rolls as well.
We are in an abandoned building, right?
Yes.
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 I'm guessing
It's
that's
just an abandoned warehouse.
Yes.
Okay.
So is
Different
this
one.
normal for half elves to bleed different colors?
Quern's got a
not
50,
normal.
50.
Well, he ran out of blood, so now it's just his brain leaking out.
That brain over there.
So we're crushing initiatives today.
Okay, so 15 for Quarian.
Yeah.
Okay, 19 for Jackins. Awesome.
8.
20
10.
for Lynn.
You just had to ruin it. Like, come on. All of us were rolling high, and then
And 10 for
I had some really good rolls early on, so I got to balance it up
And
somehow, and then I got to drop my dice.
And Zunis?
Where'd that thing?
I rolled a 22.
Wow.
I crit the
Wow.
initiative.
Okay, so I have 2 guys. This is interesting. Okay, the second one. Let's see. Okay. So, Zunis, as this creature sprouts out legs, you get a grip on yourself and you can act before it does. What do you do? It's definitely looking at you without eyes, just a brain on legs.
Well, it seems like an interesting creature, but I think I should get the hell out of here. So I turn around and run as fast as I can, and yeah, I double move.
Okay.
So that's 80 feet in total. I
Great.
can move.
So you bolt toward the back, and where do you want to go? Do you want to go to the secret door or to the water? Or to the chamber that you hadn't visited with the glittering stuff, whatever that was.
You can swim.
Damn, the glittering stuff sounds interesting.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
but
you're
it-
drunk, so why not?
Yeah.
let's
If you die with this
run
info,
in
it
a
won't
loop
be
now.
for anything.
I just don't know if the thing is following me or not. I go towards the glitter.
Okay, so you run into the room with the glittering stuff, and as you barge in, you kind of land on a pile of gold, and the coins seems to be very, very old, and actually from a land that your kind know as Chult, which is a very, very southern island of steaming jungles and ancient cultures, and you're sure that all the coins came from there. But all around that pile of gold are like dozens of identical canisters, very similar to the one you just left at the other door, at the other room, and they all have this canopy of petals, and they all kind of
Oh,
open
Damn
up
it.
as you enter this this room.
Good job.
Yeah, and the
I have a plan though.
Okay. Oh.
I think we can finish the session here.
Yeah.
We can finish it here.
Yeah.
So-
that's like, what is it? The Italian job, the old one, where it's like hanging on the edge in a bus with the money all at the edge, and at the other end it's like, don't worry, I have a plan, and then it ends.
Yeah.
So that creature is he did follow your tail, and he enters the room and fixes his unseen eyes on you. I need you to make a intelligence saving throw.
Okay.
That's not you,
Dr.
it's
Otto.
Zunis.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, it's me. Oh, okay. An intelligence saving throw.
You have a tail?
How much intelligence does a cat
Literally.
have? Oh, a cat only has 3 intelligence, so that's like
No,
minus
you have
6.
Yeah,
your-
you
have-
probably have
have
your own,
You have
Yeah,
your
your
own.
intelligence, wisdom, and charisma you take with you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
but it's probably with a disadvantage since you are intoxicated.
No, not for saves.
Oh, cool,
Luckily,
cool,
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
right.
good.
That is weird.
only ability checks and attacks.
awesome.
Only.
Only. Okay, so how high is my intelligence? Okay, 1.
D&D drunk is awesome.
Okay, so you are attacked with this psychic power that tries to blast your brain from inside your skull, but you manage to hold on and focus while intoxicated. Maybe the wine helped, you're not sure. But you managed to survive this attack. In the meantime, Elin, what do you do in the warehouse?
I do not have a high intelligence. I'm gonna blast this thing with some lightning.
Okay.
Witch bolt.
And-
18.
Okay. 18 is a hit. Jackhans, you're next, so just be ready.
Yeah.
So lightning hits this creature.
4 damage.
4 damage.
And I'll make my since I have the Tempest's magic, I can use my reaction. Well, I can just I can fly 10 feet. So if I can fly to like a rafter or something, like
Okay.
another level of the building.
Yep, you
I'll
do.
that.
Great. Jackhans.
Yes. Is it close to any of us?
As close as you want. It's probably something like, I'll tell you exactly actually.
Yeah, but I'm just wondering if there's an ally nearby.
So he is 5 feet of the limp body of the half-elf. Just behind it.
Yeah, but that. Well, is any of us next to the half elf?
So
I'm
I
wondering if
was-
I can sneak attack.
I was speaking to him when this happened.
yeah, so
I
you
would have
probably,
dived for cover, but not far away, right?
yes.
Okay.
So shoot.
So, yes, I will shoot with my bow
Okay.
and sneak attack. Thank you for that. So that's a 17 to hit.
Yes.
And god damn, that sneak attack 2 ones. So 10 points in all. That's,
How many points?
Well, 10
Okay.
piercing damage in all.
So
I'm really glad for the new upgrade on the sneak attack.
sure.
So,
So
went from 1d6 to 2d6.
the arrow kind of pierced this brain stuff, but you think either this material or stuff is too thick, or maybe this creature has some healing capabilities. But anyway, you're not sure all of it got through. This is my way of
Yeah.
saying damage
Yeah,
resistance.
I know. Damn, everything I have is piercing.
Okay,
So that's
Um,
good. So good.
great. So Quarian, what do you do?
I'm going to cast Dissonant Whispers on it.
Okay.
It needs to go Wisdom saving throw DC 13.
Oops, sorry. Which he blazingly passed.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Okay, so half damage. So 6. Alright, so he gets 6 points of damage
Okay.
and nothing else.
Okay. So on his turn, he will lunge at. He kind of smells the highest intelligence from the 4 of you.
Me.
So that's probably Quarian or Jackhans or
15.
Eileen.
We all have 10.
I have 10. Yeah,
Okay.
it's intelligence.
So-
D&D edition.
Renar.
Are we seriously all of us 10?
I have 13.
Oh,
What?
Forgar's
Oh.
the smartest of us
The
all.
power.
No. Well, almost.
Jenkins.
Almost.
He lunges at you, rakes you with his claws. He hits armor class 17.
Yes.
Okay. He
That-
rakes you for 3 plus 3 plus 2. That's 8 slashing damage.
Ouch.
And then you need to make another intelligence saving throw.
Well, that is one of my good ones, but I rolled not well. So 9.
A 9. So you take 4 plus 10 psychic damage.
4 plus 10 or 10?
4 plus 10.
14.
14.
Yikes.
Oh, god damn it! I go down.
You go down.
That's hard.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in this case,
this reminds me of the blob.
in this case, when you
One
go
dead and down.
when you go down, you feel as if your mind is under attack. Something is trying to sip into your skull and kind of push your brains out. What we are going to do right now is an intelligence contest.
Contested intelligence roll. Okay.
Yes.
So just intelligence, not the save.
Let me see that I'm not. Yes, just intelligence. With
Yeah,
an
and I'm
incapacitated human within 5 feet of
Yeah.
it. Yes.
Yeah.
Good luck. I rolled a 15.
So did I.
Oh, you
15.
too. So my
So
intelligence
highest goes to
modifier is.
defenders.
No, we should simply add the modifier. I have only a +1. I think you have more. This is.
Oh. This is with my modifier.
Oh, that's a bummer. So this is
Yeah.
my yeah.
So you have a -1, right? Right?
No, a
Right?
+1.
Yeah.
Okay, so what you all see is.
It sticks to my back of my head and starts controlling me.
Wait, you know what? You know,
What?
Can I still intervene on this? Can I do I have a reaction on this and somehow?
What do you want to do?
I want to use my Cutting War's ability to reduce his check by 1d6.
Is it a reaction against you or?
A reaction? No, a reaction against any enemy that is
Doing
within
damage,
60 feet
right?
of me.
So what?
It's a reaction versus someone doing damage.
Oh,
Right?
attack roll, I think.
Damage or attack.
Oh.
It's an attack roll
that is
or a damage roll.
amazing. So I think, and that what this ability does?
I roll one of my Bardric Inspiration dice,
Mm-hmm.
and I reduce that from his roll.
Do that.
Okay, that's -4.
Amazing. So
Sick.
Jenkins, you somehow, even unconscious, you can hear Quarian's words within your mind, and you rejected the idea of your brain being replaced by someone else's.
Damn.
I didn't need Quarian to help for that.
So you
I
kind
did that all myself.
you kind of spasm on the floor, but the creature is still there. So that was very good, Quarian. You probably saved his life. That was
thank you.
Quarian. Forgar.
Am I
Killer.
close to?
Yeah, you can assume you're close to him. That's you're all in close quarters.
Right on. Then I'm gonna lay a hands on Jenkins there and heal you 10.
Amazing.
Thank you for that.
Elithir,
No problem.
unless you want to do anything else, Forgar.
Nah.
Okay. Elithir.
Okay, I'm going to draw my knives and attack it.
Great.
And
Yeah,
I have
okay,
2
okay.
allies, I guess, that are there. Does a 15 and an 18 hit?
Yes and yes.
And the first one is going to be my sneak attack.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, before I do that, free action, bonus action to Hunter's Market.
Okay.
I've been waiting for this.
So much damage.
4, 7, 12, 15, 21, 27.
Amazing. Is it magical damage?
It's all piercing.
No.
Okay, so
Sadly.
Sorry?
It's all piercing, sadly.
Piercing?
It's
Oh,
yeah,
piercing.
It's not. No.
Sorry, your accent. I was like,
It's-
wait a minute. Is this an acronym I don't know?
So how much
Yes,
is
all piercing.
how much after you divide it by 2?
13.
13. So let me see. Still, you slay it. So you kind of with both your blades inside this creature's brain. It spasms, pour out this yellowish stuff from its wounds, and then it lies flat on all his fours. Which brings us to Zunis, in a room full of petals that just opens with more tentacles from each one of those.
Okay, so is picking up gold, is it like a full action or?
Picking up gold? No, for you, my friend, it's a free action. Today, it's a free action. Yeah.
Okay, I'm
Charitable.
yeah, you will regret this at some point. I will
I
dismiss the
regret
cat
it
form.
already. What?
I dismiss the cat form. I pick up as much gold as I can possibly carry.
Mhm.
Do I have to run past any of the brain thingies
Only
if
the
I
one,
leave the room?
only the one blocking the door, but he will probably have just a melee attack against you as an opportunity attack, nothing more.
I will cast mist of cloud. What is it called again?
Fog cloud.
A fog cloud, right? I will cast a fog cloud centered on him and run through the floor.
So wait a
fog
minute, wait a
cloud.
minute. So you dismissed your animal form. Is this a move action, an action, a free action?
It's a
A bonus action. Great. And then you picked up gold, which is a free action, and then you cast fog on him, and then you ran past by. Okay, great.
Yep.
So fog probably will give you cover or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So he will try to wait. Oh no, that's fine. So he will try to simply rake you with his claws as you run by. I will do it with a disadvantage. So highest die is an 8, which means a 12 to hit.
A 12 does hit me.
Oh, okay. So in this case, it will rake you for. This is a 1, and this is 2 plus 2. So 5 points of damage all in all.
Okay, that's
As
not
you
too-
as you run past by it. And which way do you go? Back.
I
to...
run where I can hear and smell the sea
Okay. So
in that
you,
direction.
so you turn toward the ocean and run down the tunnel, and you do see at some point the tunnel kind of slopes down, and then you kind of run in a puddle that slowly deepens into a cave flooded with water.
Okay.
As you kind of run down it, you can see a boat, but it's not a big one like a canoe or something like that. A canoe-sized boat kind of parks on the water of the cave, rolling, and on top of it are crates full of bottles of wine. And then you can see the two black leathered men kind of holding and loading chests and bottles. What do you do?
How deep is the water?
So it's like waist level.
I will dive in it. I can hold my breath indefinitely, so I will try to swim the whole way.
Sploot. Okay, very good. So you dive into the water. Do you want to try and make it stealthy, as in
Yeah,
like
definitely.
a fish? Okay, so roll your stealth check.
Motherfucker's getting out. Can't believe it.
With all the
Well,
golds?
Well,
Yeah.
All the gold I
Stealth check
could
now.
carry? Let's see, my stealth. Oh, it's -1. Oh, that's not looking too good.
So is it what, 10?
It's a 10, yeah.
Okay, let's see if they.
Unless if he's still drunk, then it's a 7.
Oh yeah, then it's even worse.
Oh, 7. Okay.
So you run out and belly flop into it.
Sploosh. You forgot about the added weight from the gold.
That's right.
Oh yeah, it's dragging me down.
Okay. So as you kind of dive into the pool, into the water, you go past the boat, you bump your head against it, and you can see the feet of the black leathered men. They kind of look confused. Maybe they stop their loading and hauling, but you simply whiz past them. You don't pay any attention. And then you can see underwater 3 silhouettes, like the shady figures of people who are swimming very much like you underwater. And do you can you see underwater in the dark?
Let me check. I don't actually know. I have to look it up.
So you don't have dark vision or something like that.
I don't think so.
Okay.
It'd be weird if you didn't.
What you do see is the strange way they kind of swim around you, as in a formation, and then one of them puts out this gadget and presses something. You can definitely hear the clunk underwater, and then a web kind of explodes underwater and approaches you, and you stand there in shock because this is a Triton's tactic. This is something you have learned. You have practiced it. You know the people who are using it.
Okay. And yeah, they do see me as well, right?
Yes. And this is where we stopped for tonight.
Okay.
It's a good place to stop.
Yeah.
Cool.
With a little bit of luck, we are all rich by the next session, maybe. If
Yeah,
I
a little
can make
bit.
it out there.
Just
I don't know,
roll
did you
good.
guys gather
Roll
up
above a
some-
10.
They are Tritons. They are honorable people. They won't hurt me, I hope.
You're honorable to
Right.
Xenomorph Cthulhu.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Okay.
Speaking of being rich, how much money are we supposed to have at this time? About. I was wondering if I can buy like a studded leather armor or not.
Well,
I'm known
find
for being a
ourselves
very
some
cheap DM.
yeah.
Good.
Well, speak for yourself. Some of us are rich. I can give you gold for it. I think it's 40 gold for studded leather. I can give you
Yeah,
gold.
35.
I think I think a payment awaits you at Jolly's, but I'm not sure. I actually have to look
Okay.
it up. I think you were promised some kind of compensation for your trek to Nightstone.
Oh yeah, there's something like 50 gold each or something like that.
Something like that.
So how much gold do you think I can carry on my body?
For a free
Well, what are you
action.
wearing?
Nothing.
How empty is your backpack? Just backpack, scoop everything in there, and then I don't know.
I don't know.
Along
there's
with a
not
few
too
creatures.
Well, that's just added XP for when later.
Yeah,
With
right.
free
Later
action,
we'll kill those
I would say
aliens.
like whatever you could fit in 2 hands, and that's. But then you cast a spell, so.
Do you have both fingers? Because that would make your hand hold better.
Yeah,
Well,
that's true.
No, but I did note that I owe you a count for those coins.
Okay.
It was actually a memorable scene, like alien creatures around. No, just money.
Yeah.
I've got
Well, I
my
had
priorities right.
And you call me greedy.
Yeah.
Well, look, if you're like before you leave the dragon's den, right? You just gotta take
You gotta
some pieces of gold.
you gotta grab the chalice.
Well, depending
Aw, yeah.
depending on how much of a death wish you have.
Okay, so we'll see what happens to Zunis in our next meeting.
Yeah, I'm just curious. What did everybody get when they leveled up? Like, what did they pick? I know some of us get to do like specialization at third level. If
I
you're
do
not
have the
physical.
light cantrip, by the way. I had
Oh.
it from before, I didn't know.
Oh.
So,
Yeah.
sorry
yeah,
about
you're a
that.
cleric now?
Yeah, I'm 2 levels into cleric, and now I can do max damage on a spell if it's thunder or lightning
Oh,
once
so-
per short
so
rest.
You took the
Right
Tempest?
on.
Yeah,
Oh, damn.
and then now
Right.
I'm going full sorcerer after this now.
Okay. My spare character is going to be like a Tempest cleric. So let's hope we don't run into it.
Yeah, I took 2 weapon fighting because I'm only got to 2nd level as a ranger, so 2 weapon fighting and then hunter's mark and jump.
Yeah, that sneak
Um,
attack was amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the hunter's mark is good. It's like
Oh.
an extra d6, like an
Especially
every
with
attack.
2 weapon fighting, it's incredible. Like that was 3d6 and 2d4 that I just rolled
Yeah,
for 2
that's-
daggers.
Yeah, that's amazing, amazing. And
Yeah.
you, and,
Awesome.
and Quarian's reaction there,
Yeah.
that probably saved Jackin's
Yeah.
mind, if not his body.
Yeah, no kidding.
Hey,
So,
I
because-
could play it as an intellect devour.
Yep.
That was fun.
Yeah.
For sure. Why
Yeah.
not?
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, XP
Yeah,
for all.
as we're using the revised ranger rules, so I picked 2 types of humanoids as my preferred enemy, and I took humans and elves.
Okay.
I thought
That's good.
I thought you took nobles and thieves.
Yeah, nobles and thieves. Yeah, can I do that? Can I be that broad?
Yeah. 2 types of humanoids, nobles and thieves.
Yeah.
They're the same
Well,
thing. Though,
that's the
so.
same thing, really. That's
Right. You get another
Accountants and lawyers.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, so who will be there for next week? Emiliano, will you make it?
Next
No.
week or 2
No,
weeks?
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Oh, 2 weeks? I don't know.
Okay.
Probably not.
Okay.
I'll be a guest, like I said.
I'll hope you will make it. Okay, guys, I'm
Should be there.
you should be there.
I'll put it in. Yeah. My school
I can make
starts.
Mm.
School starts tomorrow, so
Oh, yeah.
should be there. But I don't really know what my schedule is going to be like.
Okay, we'll
Yeah.
see in Skype.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
Right on.
great.
Right.
Thank
Right.
you
Right.
guys. Had a wonderful time and
I sure missed this. So
This is a
thanks.
good episode. So much stuff happened. It was
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it too. Okay, guys, sleep on it.
Bye.
And
You too.
Bye.
bye
Yep,
bye.
Bye-bye.
See you
See
next
ya.
time.
Next week, next 2 weeks. Bye.